Good evening. It's 9, almost 10 o'clock here in Costa Rica. I'm accustomed to making videos during the day, usually outside, but this is coming through now, so I want to share it while it's alive. And I want to talk about heartbreak, particularly romantic heartbreak. So, two teachers that I'm inspired by, really inspired by, are Peter Crone and Rupert Spira. And I realized that I had this same thing in common with both of them, what I'm about to share with you around heartbreak. And I thought about how this experience that I'm going to share with you was one of the first conscious spiritual experiences that I've ever had. I say conscious spiritual because I had many experiences before that were mystical, but this was this just touched me in a profound way that I was aware of at the time. So the thing that myself and Rupert and Peter all share in common is that as a result of a breakup, an abrupt end of a relationship that we didn't see coming. I'll speak in first person now since it's my story that I'm sharing with you. And that's extremely painful. So this was my first romantic partner, and the way I remember it was this person who sent, by the way, a side note, this person did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And they're an incredible human being who is still a friend of mine. So I have nothing but gratitude for the role this person played in the course of our relationship, and especially because of this, what happened as a result of our relationship when we first broke up. Let's just put it this way. I did not even know that breaking up existed. Have you ever been that absolutely in love with someone where I'm not even saying that metaphorically. I'm saying literally I was so with this person and so in joy and in love with this person that it wasn't even on my radar that there could ever be a time that we would not be together. Didn't even entertain it, didn't even fear it, didn't know that that was possible. And it was possible. This was, again, from what I recall, what her desire was. And I lost weight, listened to a ton of Blink-182, which is was a beautiful way that I could feel and grieve through my pain, through this music. It was a depressed time of my life, for sure, without a doubt. And I quite literally felt as though she had half of my heart and she completed me. And then all of a sudden it's half of my heart is taken away, not by my choice, and then ultimately given to someone else. In this case, that person in my life was seemingly, it seemed to me, returning to one of their loves before me, and this made it all the more challenging because I'm like, I don't even have anyone else because this was my first. As I'm sure many of you can relate to this level of connection that we feel with our first intimate romantic partners. So it's devastating. And again, we're talking, I'm about 15, 16 years old at this time. So one night as I'm laying in bed, thinking about this, feeling this, it felt, I became aware of a sensation on my chest, which felt like at the same time, a heaviness and an emptiness. And this is the most beautiful thing that happened. As I was laying there, I said to myself, wait a minute. God, whatever God is, created me as a whole person with a whole heart. And I felt that I could actually be single for the rest of my life, actually. And I remembered myself, the wholeness of myself, that love that I felt for that person was coming from me. I was in love with her, but I was in love. And that was coming from a heart that was whole and complete, and that never went anywhere. And so although it was still sad, I cannot tell you the weight, literally as I was laying there, it felt like a weight was lifted off of me. Physically, it felt like there was a lifting and this connection with this realization that I had of being made holy and holy in the image of and likeness of God, not needing to be completed by another, that I am complete and I can share that love and that completeness with another if I so choose, but the source of my happiness, my peace, my love that I gave freely to this person, it never went anywhere. It was always right here. I only mistook it for being in that person, or I mistook that person for having half my heart and only being this half of a being. But before that, I was fine. I was a happy teenager, child, immensely happy. And through this investigation, through examining my own heartache and pain and feeling it here, that's why I keep putting my hand here, I had this moment of grace, a moment of remembering my whole self. And I cannot help but believe and feel that that is not only my truth, but the truth of every single human being. seek, the happiness that you seek. It is you, it is in you. And no matter how many times you forget, well, the good news is we always come back home. We always remember our wholeness. Thank you for listening to this story. It's the first time I've shared it in this way. And I hope that it touches you. I hope that it resonates with you. And if it did, feel free to message me, let me know how or if this had an impact on your life. And I wish you that same grace, that same recognition, that same remembering that we can give our love freely, infinitely, joyfully to another. And we might be so in love with them, but we are in love. And let us not forget that that love that we live in comes from, with